Eternal echoes. The jungle steamed, a place of crumbling pillars and screeching birds. Terence carved a path, his machete an extension of his will. He smirked, a man flirting with fate, sweat slicked and rugged. He was chasing a legend, the ultimate prize whispered on the wind, a well that promised forever. Terence, man, this better end with a cold one. Jake panted behind him, his goofy grin melting in the heat. Mia rolled her eyes, her fiery hair a splash of defiance in the green expanse. Immortality? She scoffed, her voice laced with sexy sarcasm. You'd just dodge alimony longer. Their guide, Ramon, chuckled, a low, ominous sound. His eyes were haunted by things unseen. Not a myth, señorita, he warned, looking at Terence. The well grants endless breath. But eternity is a cage, not a crown. Wise men turned back. But Terence's grin only widened. At the altar, a mossy basin glowed with an otherworldly light. Carvings of screaming figures twisted on the stone. Cheers, suckers. Terence toasted and drank deep. Fire ripped through him. He convulsed, collapsed, and for a moment, was still. Then his eyes snapped open, wild and ageless. I feel like a god, he laughed. The years that followed were a blur of champagne and adrenaline. Terence built an empire, his youth a fixed star in a changing world. He partied on yachts with women like Lena, a sultry socialite with predatory charm, whose hands roamed his unchanging body. You're a walking fantasy, she'd whisper. But time, for everyone else, moved on. Bro, you're glowing like a filter, Jake said one day, his own hair now streaked with gray. I'm turning into your before pic. Terence just laughed it off, but the joke landed with the weight of a tombstone. Decades later, in a sterile hospital room, the machines beeped a rhythm Terence no longer understood. A fraile si tales interesi Terence Mia held his hand. You bastard, she smiled weakly, still look like our first date. He watched the light fade from the eyes of the woman he loved, his own face a perfect horrifying mask in the window's reflection. His daughter, Ella, faced him at another soulless party, her eyes flashing with Mia's fire. You're a ghost, Dad, she accused, tears of anger in her eyes. Mom's gone, Uncle Jake's gone. You're just here, a circus that never ends. He sought answers from Dr. Elena Vasquez, a brilliant scientist with a dry wit. She analyzed his blood, a marvel of cellular stasis. A biological miracle, she said, her sharp eyes missing nothing. And a psychological hell. Humans need endings, Terence. Yours is a sexy prison. He tried to find purpose, but why rush when you have eternity? In a quiet monastery, the eerie brother Ignacio smiled. Immortals are the gods' punchline, the monk said, his voice like rustling leaves. Life's fire needs death's shadow. Yours is just a cold echo. Haunted by visions of his loved ones, spectral and decaying, he returned to the jungle. The ruins were waiting, a monument to his curse. He was an echo in his own life, a story told so many times it had lost all meaning. He stared into the glowing basin and finally understood. He had died that day, so long ago. This life was just the curse, a loop of memory and regret. As the ruins collapsed around him, dragging him into darkness, he screamed not for life, but for the simple, beautiful peace of an end.